Plug Talk is the best. Only podcast where the host smash the guest. Yeah. Plug Talk is the best. Only podcast where the host smash the guest. Yeah.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Plug Talk. My name is Adam22. I am joined by my absolute snack of a candy cane of a wife, Lena the Plug.
Hi guys.
Looking like the red starburst.
You know.
With tits. And today we're having a sit-down conversation with Desiree Dulce, which I just found out is Spanish. No, Spanish for candy.
No, it's for sweet.
Sweet.
Right? Yeah.
Candy.
Or
is
candy.
sweet.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So now I learned a new vocabulary word in Spanish.
I love watching you say Spanish words. It just really makes me happy.
I can't roll an R.
It's the best.
It's never happened. Anyway, yeah. How you doing?
Good.
Excited to have you here. You just flew in.
Yes.
You're cramming in a lot of content into this trip, I'm assuming?
Yeah, I've got a lot of shoots and content for OF and stuff. Yeah.
How long ago did you get off the flight?
What time is it?
Like 4?
It's 4.
A couple hours, maybe 2 hours.
She stopped and got a Planet Fitness membership so that she could use the gym shower before she came to see us.
Because the hotel wouldn't let you check in that early, I guess?
Yeah, well, I mean, I had to come straight from
the airport.
Airport, get my rental car, and then, I mean, there wasn't even enough time to check in anywhere at that point. So I was like, well, she's gonna be fresh for you guys.
We're honored, and I love a hoe on the go. That's just hot to me, like a girl who can kind of get cleaned up in a public bathroom or whatever, you know.
Do they have showers at the airport? I feel like they should. I know they do.
Never have I seen that. No one's ever seen that.
In the first class, what's the word I'm looking for? Where you can go get food and stuff.
The
lounge.
Special lounges.
The lounges have them.
Yeah,
but that's only if you like have first or business.
If you're taking a shower at the airport, you're doing too much. If you're hitting a lounge on the way out of the airport, you're doing too much.
What if you had like a 15 or 20-hour flight, and you have to go?
Who are you impressing?
What if you're a professor and you have a big lecture to do or something? I don't know.
Professors, I feel like it's totally okay to stink.
No, it's not. It's never okay to stink.
Yeah, no.
I apologize. This is not normally how this podcast goes.
Okay to stink.
Okay. Let's make this less about us fighting and more and more about us learning about you. So, where are you from? Tell us about your upbringing.
So I grew up in Virginia. I left Virginia in 2008 actually, and spent 3 years in Japan after that, and that is way more interesting than where I grew up.
Japan.
Yeah. What did you do for 3 years in Japan? I'm assuming you were 18 at the time.
I was 20.
Okay.
Actually, I moved there with an ex. So, but it was amazing. I mean, he was military.
Okay.
So I was just living it up.
So were you in Osaka?
No, there is a base called Atsugi.
Okay.
And that's where he was stationed. But I lived in a little town called Chigasaki.
Okay.
Which was a little beach town about a half hour from the base, because I just wanted to like have the real like living in Japan experience. And
how was it living in a country where you're walking around and not really hearing anyone speak English and probably had a hard time making friends?
I am so thankful for the experience. It was amazing. Like, I made some really good friends there, but it was hard because with military, people kind of like move, and then there is a language barrier, obviously, with people who were native. And I was able to make quite a few friends while I lived there because they all speak English pretty well. And they learn it in school.
Japan's one of my favorite places. That's why I'm so curious about this.
Yeah, and like they're all so nice. And when they find out, when they would find out I was American, they would get so excited and they want to practice their English. And, you know, I was trying to practice my Japanese, so never got good at it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a really amazing time. I mean, I did not want to come back.
Really?
Yeah, not at all. But then, you know, I'm used to being home now, so I can't. I mean, that was what, 2011 is when I came back.
So you went there for 3 years and you came back just because his tour of duty was done?
He got out of the military. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so what were you doing with your life at that point, or what did you think that your future was going to be like?
I was 20.
So you didn't know.
I was like, let's have fun. Let's
I got a
party.
boyfriend. I'm following him to Japan.
21. I turned 21 in Japan. Like, you know.
You didn't work for those 3 years, I assume, right?
No. I mean, I interviewed to teach English a couple times, and I got the job offer, and I was like, I don't think I want to do this. Yeah. And I just didn't. I was still working as a programmer, because when I moved, I basically that job I had in Virginia became a remote position. And so I was working remote as a programmer, here and there, and then eventually it just got too hard to maintain that like 12-hour difference or whatever that was
Yeah.
back then. But yeah, just kind of lived it up and got to experience another culture at like a young age, which, you know, I did not realize at that point in my life how special of an experience that
Yeah.
was. Like I don't think I'll ever get an opportunity like that again, unless I really made it. But
I mean, anybody could just move to a random country, right? But I guess it's a money
It's not
thing.
that
yeah.
easy. You have to like apply
no.
for the visas, then you have to leave after a certain amount of time. They won't let you get a
Mhm.
job there. So if you don't have access to a remote position,
Mm.
it's not really like feasible for a lot of
Yeah.
people.
I don't know about anymore, but I know back then a lot of American people would come over and teach English, and they
Mhm.
would work on visas that way.
Yeah.
And so, yeah.
So after that, what happens in your life?
Oh, after that, I moved back to America. I lived in the Pacific Northwest for a little while. I'm not going to get specific on where. And got a programming job out there. Uh, and got bored.
Mhm.
I was tired of programming. I wanted to do something more. I'm super extroverted and I want to be around people and talk to people and connect with people. Um, and I've always been very sexual and curious about the porn world in general since I was like 18. So I learned about camming while I was still a programmer. And it's
Mm.
like, okay, it's on my computer. I'm
Two different
always on
ways.
my
Two
computer.
different ways to spend a lot of time on your computer. Yeah.
Bingo, right? So I was like, okay. And then I leaned into that. A lot of my fans were other like tech nerds like me, and we just had a lot of fun. And then from there, people, of course, started asking for more. Fans always want more, and
Mm.
they wanted to see me like actually,
Fuck.
fuck on camera. Yeah. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh, I don't know, but okay. I tried it with like one of my ex-partners, and it was so much fun. I was like addicted instantly.
Mm.
You're doing it on live cam with him?
I was selling my videos. This is before OF, like on a different
Yeah.
clip site.
I
But
stream all the time and have conversations while I can see a chat talking about it. And it is like, it fires you up and it pumps you up and it kind of tells you like what to talk about and gives you other opinions and stuff. And like the couple of times that we've done Plug Talk live streams where
mhm.
we can see and we can hear the donations coming in like while we're
Yeah.
fucking and stuff. It is pretty fun. It's a nice combo.
Yeah, I think I've only done one live
With another
with
person?
with like a boy girl.
Mhm.
I've done a couple of live girls, but like only one live boy girl, and it was so much fucking fun. I cannot wait to do it again.
We used to
But
do
for that
live
exact
orgies in
reason.
here.
Yeah.
Live orgies was pretty intense. At a certain
Oh, you
point,
did do that.
Yeah.
we did. Yeah, we for a while we would do like a long ass podcast in there, like a 2-hour podcast with like 8 porn stars, and then just come in here afterwards and just bang
Ah.
while live.
I forgot I did I did an orgy for browsers with a bunch of people for Valentine's Day
Mm.
like 6 years
But
ago.
was it live?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
the whole thing was live streamed. I don't know how I forgot about that
Mm.
until you just said that.
Definitely.
That was probably my craziest scene. I know that
Really?
was like one of the things we'd talked about.
Can you
Yeah.
guys like see the chat?
No, it was live streamed through like I guess just on the website. So
Uh-huh.
it wasn't like a 4 tips. It was
Okay,
like a
okay.
live streamed orgy, and there was 2 separate rooms. There was the anal room and the not anal room. So there was
Wow.
no accidental anal happening.
Live
That's
streaming
smart.
anal. I was just
Yeah.
about to say that nobody would ever live stream anal because it's like so much could happen.
Yeah, I never thought about that, but I guess that's why they have multiple cameras. Like, quick, cut to
Yeah,
the next one.
And that's
Definitely.
why there's 2 rooms. That's really smart. The 2
Yeah.
rooms because
but that's a way where fans could see a side of their favorite adult performers that they might not
want to
love.
see.
Yeah, and even for the guy, like, being able to finish while you're live is it's kind of a thing because a lot of times, not with myself so much, but like I've heard about guys where they have to jerk themselves off for a couple hours to
Yeah.
come.
Step
which,
away from the camera, maybe. Come
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, everybody's got their own thing. Some guys will like step away. Some people like go into the bathroom and like who knows what they're doing in there.
Mm.
Sometimes they'll want you to like, I don't know, suck their balls while they're jerking it. Like there's so many different things. Every guy needs like a different thing to get him to that
What's the
point.
weirdest thing you've had to do to fluff somebody?
I don't think I've had to do anything, but I've seen some guys do some weird things themselves.
In front of you?
Yeah. And I'm just
Can't even
like,
imagine.
but I'll be honest, I can't like, I don't want to share because I don't want to embarrass anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely no names. But I mean, the craziest one that I remember hearing many years ago was Alina Lopez telling me that a guy couldn't get hard or couldn't finish. So she ate his ass for a half hour while he jerked off, and she texted her boyfriend.
The whole time.
Yeah.
What?
While
Well, not the whole time.
I don't know if
think
she had the
was like,
phone
a half
planted on his back
hour?
or if she was
I
like,
just feel like my mouth would hurt so bad.
You
I
know
don't
what's
wanna
funny
do
though?
that.
It's because you get to a point where you're like, we're so close to finishing the day. We're so close to finishing the
Yeah.
scene. And like, let's just get it done. Like, I want to get it done.
I will jerk this guy off for
Yeah.
the next hour if that means I get to go home an
Yeah.
hour earlier.
But is there a conversation, because it's like you're getting paid when the camera is on, and I know that you want the scene to finish, so that's your motivation to fluff somebody, but is it like the guy should ask you, or do you ask the guy? Like, what's
Yeah,
how's it work?
absolutely. Like, consent always matters in everything, right? So, and that's one of the things that's kind of, I've noticed, been talked about a little more on set these days is like, are you comfortable with off-camera touching?
Mm.
And I think it's a really important question because I know when I first got into the industry, I guess I kind of thought it was just expected of me.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And I didn't have a problem with it because I love sex and I loved the people I was working with and I was excited to do it. So I was
Right.
just like, sure, why not? You know, we're gonna keep the energy up and keep the like things sexy and flowing so that when the camera does go again, it's the energy's still there.
Mm.
And then I like somewhere along the way, I don't know if I like worked with a girl who was just like, oh no, I don't do that. And I was like, what? It's like a thing? People, you know?
Yeah.
And so there are definitely people who aren't comfortable with it. And so I always make sure, like, even with other girls, you know, I like to, you know, can I give you a hug? Even I think that's important, you know, not to just like assume somebody is okay with like touch, you know? So
Mm.
I think once you establish that though, it's a great way to keep the energy going and, you know.
Definitely. How much of a challenge was it going from camming to doing actual porn? Did you start with like the OnlyFans thing, or did you just kind of dive into like real porn?
I started shooting amateur clips and selling them through a couple of different clip sites
Right.
first. And I just had fun shooting, like, and I can't remember who messaged me first. It was a professional site, and I was like, should I consider this? You know? And I thought about it, and I was like, well, what's the difference? You know? And I just decided to give it a try, and I fell in love with it. I mean, the first scene I shot professionally, I want to say, was for a site called True Amateurs, and it was just me and the performer, the other guy, and the camera. Like there was no one else.
Mm.
And there was no one holding the camera. It was a really interesting, like he was kind of, it was a really interesting professional scene.
So
I
did
haven't
he
shot anything like that since.
It
Was it
sounds
like
like you just
fucking
fucked a
you?
guy in a random room.
But it wasn't like, because I have done like, you know, like where it's just me and the director.
Right.
This was a little bit different.
Oh.
They wanted me to like shoot with like, say, my partner, but at the time I didn't have one. So they're like, okay. So they paired me up with somebody to shoot. And they really wanted that amateur, like real chemistry between the people and whatnot. And it was so much fun. And then basically I got a call back, and that was for Brazzers. And I remember when I did my first shoot for them, that was like the first real big production I had done. That was it for me. Like I completely fell in love with all of it. Like
Really?
being able to like bring scripts to life. And you know, it's not just sex. It's like, okay, I can step into this character and create this fantasy and like sell that fantasy to the audience, and then they get to really enjoy that fantasy coming to life. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Just fun.
Hell yeah.
What's your favorite kind of role to do?
Oh, I don't know. I'm not sure. Because I I'm a switch. So I can be very submissive or very dominant. And so like I love both like aspects of that. But I lean more into that like in my
Personal.
stuff, like my own my content and whatnot versus like professional
Got it.
scenes. I love when they like make me like a nerd. I get to kind of be myself a little bit, you know what I mean? Like I get to wear like the big glasses, or I get to game or something like that.
Right.
Like that's fun for me.
I mean, it's funny because like in this current age of porn, there's not that much acting, I feel like. But like the first porn girl that I ever used to mess around with, even date, quote unquote. I don't want to actually admit that we were dating or whatever, but like there were so many roles. Like she was playing all kinds of different characters in these weird parody movies at the time. And it's like when I think about it now, like almost every girl I know has never done anything like that.
That's interesting. I remember a lot of people saying that they preferred gonzo scenes so that they could just get to the fucking and not have to worry about the script and stuff. But
That's me.
I like scripts. It gets me like excited for the sex.
I feel like in some ways it's more for the woman, because I'm like, why are these people fucking? I need to know, was he selling her the house? Does she not like have the money for the commission? Like that's exciting to me.
Yeah.
But it needs to be a little believable.
That sounds good for other people, for sure. I just don't really
You're like,
get it
show
at
me the
all.
anal right now.
Every time when we're at the AVN Awards and we're watching the awards that they're giving out for different movies that have like real acting, and I'm just like, whoa, I can't believe this shit exists. Like it's fascinating to me.
I think it's sick. I haven't
Yeah.
watched like a full length movie, but I think that they come out so beautiful.
Yeah, yeah. Like some of the really like beautiful movie like ones that have like the full dramatic scripts. I want to shoot one of those so
That
bad.
sounds
I
like
haven't
a lot of
gotten to do
fun.
those yet.
Mm.
Most of the stuff I've done obviously like is Brazzers is more comedic.
Mm.
So I've done a lot of comedic things, but I've done some other more serious roles too, and those are, I don't know, I think I like that more.
Mm. What was it like, the transition to like doing porn full time though? It was like what was that transition like? Having that be your sole source of income.
There really wasn't a whole lot of one. I mean, I had moved to Vegas at some point before I started shooting professionally, because I knew that that was something I might want to do.
Mm.
And I knew at the very least moving to Vegas, I would be able to work with like other girls in the industry and start collabing and stuff like that. And even if I didn't go the professional route. So I mean, there really wasn't a huge change. It just all of a sudden I was on professional sets more often than, shooting my own stuff.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But you left Vegas.
I did.
Do you want to say where you live now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I moved to Austin.
Right. What was that? What was the reason for that?
Well, it was COVID and we weren't shooting anymore. And then I started visiting Texas and I fell in love with it out there. So I was like, I'm moving. And then we started shooting again. And I was like, oops, I missed shooting. So I wasn't sure whether I was going to come back. And I would kind of like fly out to LA and Vegas and shoot like a couple times a year. But then about a year ago, I was like, I want to come back for real, like full time. So I got an agent and started planning trips out here about like once a month or so for like a week. So
Definitely.
it's a lot of travel.
You should start the porn world in Austin. Like Austin has everything all of a sudden, but not really like a real porn thing going on, right?
It's still Texas.
It's still Texas.
It's still Texas.
Hey, Fleshlight is from Austin.
Huh?
Fleshlight, the headquarters is over there, and it's been
Really?
there for
Yeah.
like
I didn't know
for a
that.
long time. It was
I didn't
started
know
by a Texan man.
Interesting.
Maybe.
Yeah, I feel like it would get shut down so
You
quick
think
in
so?
Yeah, the
Texas.
cops will be
Yeah.
on your ass. That's a fact. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
It's nice to think that maybe you could avoid it, but as soon as you started to get any kind of notoriety, I feel like it would be bad.
You know, I found a really like solid group of women out there though that are other OF creators and stuff, and we've been like collabing and it's been awesome. Like, I felt isolated out there. Like I was on an island for a while. So like finally meeting some people that also do what I do instead of, just I have a lot of friends who aren't in the industry in Austin, of course.
Right.
So meeting people who are in the industry, it was life-changing
Are
for
you still
me.
in the go to 6th Street and get drunk part of your life, or are you retired from that? Like, you just seem as if you probably used to be like a wild party girl. I don't know if that's right or not.
Used to be.
Mm.
Yeah, I used to be, but I can't handle that scene. I am more like, give me a dive bar with like some good rock music. There's a bar in Austin that I really like to go to. I'm not gonna say what it is, but they have like there's so many there that have like they just play good music like
Mm.
that I want to hear.
I used to stay in Shakespeare's. That was the bar for all the BMX kids back in the day. Not kids, I guess.
That street was scary when we walked down it.
Picture that street. Like, go watch, like, search Austin, Texas fights, and you will see that street flooded with people beating the shit out of each other on any given night.
What street?
6th Street?
Oh, on 6th Street. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we were walking through it, and I was just like,
Yeah, no,
"Ooh,
I went out
sus."
there like once when I first moved there, and I was like, that's enough for me.
Yeah. Okay. So if you live there, it's not as attractive. I guess I could see that.
No.
Okay.
I mean, it's like saying, like, do you guys go hang out on Hollywood Boulevard? Like, why the fuck would we hang out on Hollywood Boulevard?
Yes, but also I feel like Hollywood Boulevard has a different stigma. Whereas to me, 6th Street was just like where you went out drinking in
Because
Austin.
it's like the only party street, pretty much.
And there's a lot of other bars, but they all kind of like stem from there. It's like little colonies of bars around the city. But yeah. What are your other hobbies, other things that you're interested in, other ways that you use your time aside from the porn world?
It's kind of all over the place. So, I love cooking. I love playing video games. I don't really do that as much as I used to, but I used to spend a lot of time with my dog. I lost her about a month ago, so
Oh, I'm sorry.
yeah, it's the worst. But so I like to be outdoors, like a lot. I like being outside, and especially now the weather's so pretty right now in Austin. Like I'm outside every single day. If I can't get out, I'm like angry. Yeah, I mean, I still like programming for fun, actually. So, but I don't really have any projects going on. I had this like thing I was working on um in my live streams where when people would tip, it would like change the lights in my room. Like
Oh, really?
I
that's cool.
And you had
wrote
to
the
write
code to do.
the code for it.
Yeah,
Wow. So you live stream on what platform?
OnlyFans.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay. Those kind of live streams. Got it.
Yeah.
That's
That's
what's
very
up.
cool.
Yeah. So I mean, that's pretty much it. I mean, I moved recently to a bigger space, so lately I've been kind of just making it home, which has been taking up a lot of time, but
Mm.
It's fun though.
it's so fun. I'm so thankful.
So do you like the way that your lifestyle is sort of sorted out now, where you don't shoot for an extended period of time and then you pop out to LA or Vegas or whatever and shoot a bunch for a little while and then kind of go back to your little bubble?
Yeah,
Mhm.
I love it.
You
I
think
love it. I love it.
Creates good separation. You don't
Yes.
like the LA lifestyle?
You know, I do miss like, because I never lived in LA, I lived in Vegas, so I would bounce back and forth quite a bit. So I do kind of miss how easy it was to see my friends and to like get to set and to, the food and everything. Um, but it's just different. Like I'm able to separate myself from my job, and like that was really, really important to me. And I learned that during COVID, like during that 2020, 2021 period. Like I learned I really needed to learn where that separation between Desiree and my, my real self, like where that is, and learn that, I like that I can just like turn it on and step into like Desiree and
It
be
is
like
crazy because like
fucking
there's girls that we know who basically are just like 24/7 porn. Like they shoot a scene or two a day. They're shooting mainstream. They're doing OnlyFans collabs, etc. They go to all the conventions. They go to all the events. And then there's other girls that we know who definitely like, go to work here and there. And then they just kind of live like a super normal life and then just sort of dip in and out of the porn stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like I got really lucky to have been contracted when I first got in the industry, and it allowed me to keep some separation because with my contract I was only shooting 6 scenes a month. So it left a lot of time for me to kind of like explore what I wanted to do with my time. And I was really, really lucky to have that. And that was when I started bouncing out to Texas and like realized that I did want something more than porn 24/7. Like I love this industry. I love the people in it. I love this world. I like love how free it is. That's one thing that has driven me crazy about living in Texas. It's like you meet people and I get it out of the way right away.
I do porn.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm like, full disclosure, like, you know, 'cause I'm a girl's girl. So if I'm out and I meet a girl, like we'll be chatting. I'm like, do you have Facebook or something? And they'll always be like, I have Instagram. And I'm like, okay, we can follow each other on Instagram, but just so you know, I'm an adult performer. And they're always like cool with it.
Yeah.
Until the next day I see that they've blocked me and I'm like, shit.
Blocked?
What? Do you think
Block
you're
is
gonna
so
like?
extreme.
No, this literally happened last weekend.
What? Blocking is so crazy. Like, that's like the ultimate, like, hey, I don't
We
wanna...
took a selfie together and everything. It's like super cute. I would show you, but my phone's
What? It is weird. Okay, because in our bubble, being parents and everything, it does feel like we don't really get the judgmental stuff, but then also LA is notorious for being fake as fuck. So it's like, for sure, if any of the parents that were around have extreme feelings towards us, we probably wouldn't know.
I honestly feel like so many of the parents don't even know.
I feel like they all know and talk about us for sure.
I don't feel that way.
You are
maybe I'm
bliss-
naive.
They
blissfully
talk
naive.
about how amazing you guys are as a couple,
guess,
I'm
I
sure.
hope so.
I think they fuck with us, but I mean, we're not exactly like the average porn couple either, you know? Like, we get a little bit more attention than most people, so it's even harder to
I'm a regular
ignore.
person.
Yeah,
I don't
okay.
do porn.
For sure. Okay, so do you feel like you have an end date in mind in terms of adult content, or is this something that you think will be a part of your life till you're 60?
If it could be a part of my life till I was 60, that would be awesome.
Yeah, it's
I
weird,
don't
right?
like I don't know. I'm not really thinking of when I want to leave. I mean, I know I have some ideas of what I want to do after that I'm really excited about. They're so in the baby stages that I'm not ready to like talk about it yet, but I don't know, like I'm not eager to get out. I just got back in like a year ago and I've been having so much fun, so just
Definitely.
kind of, yeah.
Shout out to porn. Which, speaking of, you want to make one?
Let's
do it.
I want to.
Beautiful.